Right here are these mountains, their tops covered with snow. High, rugged, tremendous mountains. Greetings, good people. I am Captain William Clark. We're now standing along an Indian trail which we followed through these very mountains with the Corps of Discovery now many years ago. And I remember how surprised and indeed shocked both Meriwether Lewis and myself were at the tremendous size of these lofty mountains, and indeed awed by the majesty of the natural beauty here. And now I am shocked to see that the devil has clapped his sulphurous claw upon the mountain to rip unholy scars into her side. Ah, Master Thomas Maclay, is this your grievous work?
I'm Dana Chikelli, and this is our backyard with a beautiful view of the Bitterroots, and that's Lolo Peak back there. And well, I guess I'd just like to say that when I first heard about the ski resort that Tom Maclay is planning on putting in, I was happy and excited because I'm just learning how to ski, and skiing is great. I love it. But then I found out that it wasn't just going to be a couple of ski runs in a warming hut, but actually this massive city that he plans to put in. And I was just shocked. He wants to put in, I think it's 2,200 homes, luxury homes, and a golf course, an amphitheater, an ice rink, equestrian trails, shops, restaurants. It's just, the scale of it is mind-boggling. But I was still, okay, a little progress, that's not bad. But then I found out that he also wanted to use 12,000 acres of public land. And not just any public land, but wilderness, pristine wilderness areas surrounding Lolo Peak. And in comparison, the amount of private land that he plans to use is just about 3,000 acres of his own land. So just 1/4 of this whole project would be private land, and the rest would be our land, our public land that is for everybody. And what gives him the right to charge people to use this public land? And what's even more galling to me is the fact that he's acting as if he's doing this out of the goodness of his heart, that he wants to develop the area for all of us to have a beautiful ski area. And that's really not the case at all. His motive is just pure profit. I could see putting in a few homes with the area, but not 2,200 homes. And I don't know, just the impact on the local wilderness, on the elk habitat, and especially on the fisheries. Already, as it is, the Bitterroot and Lolo Creek are only ankle deep by August. And with the impact of making snow in the winter, and the impact of 2,200 homes watering their lawns, and the golf course, trying to maintain the golf course as this beautiful green fairways, what kind of impact is that going to have on the Bitterroot River? It's going to be ironic when he sells his homes to these people who don't understand, and they come here in the summer in August and they find that they can't fish in the Bitterroot because there are fishing restrictions because the water's too low and too hot. So I just really don't see how something of this enormity can help but have a horrible impact on our community and especially on the wilderness areas.
My name is Kate Davis, and I live here in the Bitterroot out in Florence, and I'm a bird enthusiast. This is Sibley, and this is a captive bred peregrine falcon that I fly, and I have been very interested in locating peregrine nests, and they call these cliff nest eyries. And a couple of years ago we found a nesting pair of peregrines right across the valley from our house, and the next year we think we found a nest up on Maclay Ridge, which is right behind us there. There were peregrines that were acting territorial. These birds have been taken off the endangered species list in the state of Montana just as recently as last year. And my concern is that with peregrines nesting very close to the proposed ski area, I think 12,000 acres of ski area and 2,000 homes are definitely going to affect their nesting success, and I'd rather see peregrine falcons than a ski area up there, to be honest.
Neva Larson in Lolo, Montana, and Lolo Peak, at least one of the Lolo Peaks is behind us, and Carlton Ridge. It's a long ridge going left, and that's Essie helping out. We've lived here since 1945 and kept this as various different types of farming, and now I board horses. And it's a beautiful area, and there's already a lot of development happening, and the Bitterroot Resort would just be too much. It would affect our water, the aquifer, the transportation. We already have a lot of transportation, and this is the main corridor in the Bitterroot, and there really isn't any other good way to get in and out of the Bitterroot Valley. And it's already congested and lots of traffic and can be a problem. I'm concerned about the public land, what would happen to that if he actually made his what he wants to do, make the ski run all the way up into the ridge and Lolo Peak. It would just destroy a beautiful area. A ski run, to me that ski development doesn't even make sense. This isn't an alpine area, it's a little low valley. There's hardly any snow on the lower edge, the lower areas, which you can see right now. And this is December. And lots of times there isn't even that much in January or February. In this, you know, it isn't an alpine ski area, which of course is what he wants to call his place, Alpine Resort. So it doesn't even make sense to me, to what he's trying to do. It just seems crazy. And he hasn't been truthful about what he's done. He's cut timber where he shouldn't have cut timber. He's damaged the road where he, up on the lake area where he shouldn't have. And people have actually been up there skiing and have seen this. So he doesn't follow the rules. He's supposed to get permission to do anything up there like that, and he doesn't get it, and then he just goes ahead and does whatever. They are suing him, the Forest Service is suing him, but he just keeps on as far as we know. So I don't have much respect for Tom Maclay.
Tommy Maclay, do you hear me, laddie? Tommy! Tommy McClay! 'Tis I, your great-granddad, David Richardson McClay. Listen to me, laddie. So here ye be, laddie, proving up the land with a Destiny Resort, is it? Destiny Resort on the old homestead? Condos for the rich, is it? Golfing on the old homestead? Ice rinks for the lassies and ski lifts to the very summit of Lolo Peak? Is this the news? Where's your heart, man? Where's your mind now, laddie? Where's the love of the quiet and the starry night? Tommy, are you drunk? Tommy McClay, are you blind with the gold and with the liquor? Didn't I teach you the land is not yours? The land nay belong to ye. Tommy, ye only have a bit of paper of deed. 'Tis nothing. But the land itself, nay belong to ye. The land belongs to life. Laddie, to life. Let it be, Tommy. Keep it whole as God made it. And pass it forward clean, laddie, for the love of God. Oh, laddie, aye, Tommy, the land belongs to life. Keep it thus alive.
My name is Laura Lundquist, and we're standing to the southwest of Missoula up here on Linda Vista Drive. And behind me you would see what is McClay Ranch and Lolo Peak area. And I'm a fourth generation Montanan, and I say that because Tom McClay likes to point out the fact that he's a fifth generation Montanan and that he's doing this for the good of Montana and that he's got this pride. But there are those of us that have grown up here that don't feel that he's being very sincere in that. Tom McClay is trying to develop a world-class ski resort that will be adjacent to Lolo Peak, and he wants to use, at least at this point, 12,000 acres of public lands to make this ski resort into something that people are going to be willing to buy into. And the truth of it is it's just because he wants to be able to sell his property for a lot more money, and it has nothing to do with making Montana anything better than what it is. It's an emotional thing for me because it's something that is on the verge of being lost. And how can you look at something like that and go, this is not important? And especially when it comes down to the dollar, that's all this is it's about money as far as they're concerned. And it's only money in their pocket. It's not going to bring anything into the valley that these communities, the Bitterroot communities and the Missoula community, need. I mean, my gosh, we got plenty of development, we got plenty of our own growth without it. And it's a ski hill. This is the 10th of February. Where's the snow?
I'm Cheryl Holden Rice. I am in the Bitterroot Valley, where I had 17 grandparents who settled here from the 1860s. We have lived here consecutively 139 years. I am 5th generation, 7 ways. That means I had 7 great-great-grandparents to this area. With my daughter, there are 19 grandparents for her, and for my grandchildren, there are 21 because of my husband and myself living here. They are 7th generation. They own land out of Florence, Montana. I'm between Florence and Stevensville in an area called Eagle Watch. It was the Ravalli County of Montana's first subdivision, which was established in the 1970s and allows only one house on 2 acres, no more. Mr. McClay has discussed putting in a lot of houses, not one house per 2 acres, but 2,500 homes. And he talks about a 4-lane highway going through his ranch. That 4-lane highway is Highway 93. It's United States Highway 93, U.S. Highway 93. Therefore, it is an international highway that connects Canada to Mexico. It isn't just for him to divide up his property and serve new homes coming in. Such a thing as that would create a bottleneck in such a little area. You can see off to my left, looking down from here, there is no place for so much activity as such a highway would create. Right now, we see ribbons of white lights and red lights, early morning to late at night, because of the traffic already there. This mountain range is wilderness area, and it does come right up to where he plans on having a ski resort. It's primitive area, but both mean non-mechanized. So we really do not want or need chairlifts going up to Lolo Peak that would destroy that sense of place that is so important. This area attracts students to the University of Montana who have the access to hike up there, do their studies if they want, do biological studies, watch wildlife, but it also has it for all of us.
My name is Kathleen Stokowski, and I live out here west of Lolo in a drainage of the Lolo Creek watershed. I'm a native plant gardener, and perhaps you can see some of my beautiful plantings around here. We're restoring our land for the native wildlife. Tom McClay is planning to build a 4-season ski resort just south of Lolo. There are a lot of concerns here. Primarily for me, one of my major concerns is the use of 12,000 acres of public land. This is land that belongs to the American people. It's hard for me to understand how we will benefit by trading 12,000 acres of wild, roadless land for a highly developed ski resort. What is the trade-off? The people of Lolo and Florence and the upper Bitterroot Valley would perhaps be gaining some service jobs that don't particularly pay very well. But what we would be giving up would be the wildness of our American landscape, for one. We would lose animal habitat. We'd lose the dark night sky. We'd lose the silence and solitude that we can find on Carlton Ridge now. We would lose the integrity of the Carlton Ridge Research Natural Area, an area where scientists are studying the western and alpine larch and their hybrids. It's a unique area, and special to science for not only the larch growth, but also the soils that occur there. So that, to me, is a huge, huge trade-off, giving up particularly the plant and animal habitat. Once Lolo Peak is
wired up with chairlifts and lights and compressors making snow. That mountain is no longer wild.
I'm Daphne Hurling, and I live in Missoula, and we are now located right off of Highway 12, going from Lolo up to Lolo Pass. And right behind me is this gorgeous, wonderful valley icon, Lolo Peak. And we're looking at it from the Mormon Peak, and the snow-covered round dome is Lolo Peak itself. And to think of that wonderful, beautiful place being sullied by ski lifts and ski runs and restaurants and all sorts of high-end things that go with big downhill ski resorts, it's just breaks my heart, and it must not happen. And Mr. McClay and those investing in the Bitterroot Resort have maintained that everything they do, if they have access to public land, will be done in a very conservation, environmentally friendly, green ski resort kind of approach. History has shown that Mr. McClay has not been a good steward of the land. And the cutting down 300-year-old trees in research natural areas, although the charges have not been heard yet in court, it would seem that these do not indicate a great caring for the land.
Pray heed, Master Thomas. Pray heed the words of my good friend Thomas Jefferson, our president, when he said, agriculture is our wisest pursuit. It contributes most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness, whereas wealth acquired by speculation and plunder, Mr. Jefferson said, fills society with the spirit of gambling, and which loses forever the virtues of this natural world. So I pray you heed these words, Master Thomas McClay. Heed these words and make them your own. And shun the devil's claw upon your back and upon these mountains.
My name's Michelle Landquist, and this is old Leroy Brown here, baddest ass in the whole damn town. He's over 40 years old, was one of the first donkeys ever caught up on BLM land. Still has all his teeth, and spent the first part of his life domesticated on a dude ranch, and he got roped a lot, which is why he's got a little hiccup in his step to this day, but I'm sure he could certainly tell some stories about how the landscape's changed in his lifetime. Now he's in retirement here on Bantam Acres, the name of my little family farm. And we raise sheep and chickens, and we put enough food in the freezer for ourselves and sell some locally. And we're concerned that we're not going to be able to continue to afford this meager lifestyle if this proposed subdivision comes in. It's going to be right over the other side of the mountain there on Lolo Peak, which is really approximately just over the mountain that way from the south of us here. And Lolo Creek's right out back here, which already gets pretty low in the summertime, and his operation's liable to affect that even more. You know, Mark Twain once said that, a quote was, "Whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting over." And I couldn't agree more. Although I'm not much of a drinker of whiskey, we certainly all depend on water. This Bitterroot ski resort that's being proposed, whether it's the small magnitude of Tom McClay's just small little private enterprise or the larger version, is going to significantly impact our water here. Water's all interrelated, whether it's coming from the wells or the streams for irrigation. It's all interconnected through the aquifer and the whole hydrological cycle that we all depend on. The amount of snow that he's going to need to make is going to be phenomenal. It's going to use a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of water. As a matter of fact, I've got somewhere some handy little stats here that not only do rivers and streams and wetlands make up about 5% of Montana's landscape, 75% of that is in plant and animal diversity in our wetlands and rivers and streams. So, you know, that's a phenomenal stat right there regarding how valuable all our water resources are. Then when it comes to snowmaking, I found some information that says to cover an area of 200 by 200, 6 inches deep in snow, you'd need 20 cubic feet of snow to cover it, which is the equivalent of 82,000 gallons of water. Now, how do you picture 82,000 gallons of water? If you wanted to put it into like some big tanker trucks, it would be 11 of those full. What's even more phenomenal is some of the ski resorts that are already using good state-of-the-art equipment, like Tommy says he's going to do. You'd need 5,000 gallons of water to make snow per minute, which is 20 tons per minute. And he's going to need to be making snow. I know he's got a phenomenal amount of water rights there, but that's a lot of water. And even if he changes his purpose of the water from ag to use in his enterprise, he's still got to take it out during those regular summer months and store it. Probably store it in Carlton Lake like he's talked about, or some other pond. The irrigation ditch he uses is not screened to keep fish out, so it's going to affect the fisheries and their ability to migrate back into the stream at some juncture in their lifetime. And fish that get trapped in whatever reservoir he uses to hold that water until he needs it, they need water in the winter just as much as they do in the summer to keep them from freezing, to keep he's going to drop the water down and trap whatever fisheries are in that water reservoir. So that's a real important concern for me. And then his potable water, which is basically the term for drinking water, he plans on taking from the east side of the highway on his property, running it up under the highway. You're looking at a lot of electricity to move that water, and you're looking at risking people's wells and the connection with the stream, the river, Bitterroot River down there, for dropping the water table, because it is all interconnected. So I'm concerned for people's wells not being monitored. I'd like an environmental assessment done of this whole thing, whether it's the larger picture or Tom's smaller picture. And I guess what disturbs me is I've always had the utmost respect for the Maclay family. They come from a long line of ag people that have been really good stewards of the land. And you know, that like there's a black sheep in every family. I'm thinking Tommy's probably it. He got all the recessive genes. Leroy's pretty funny. A lot of people go, oh, he's an ass. And him and Tommy probably have a little bit in common in that way, because he is an ass. But Leroy Brown here is a good ass and has good land ethics and appreciates a good thing and knows a good thing when he sees it. And that's one huge difference between Tommy Maclay and Leroy Brown in the category of being asses.
Khastiniak okay. Yetlwa el stle uisquest pilesowe. Utskasi lu I hot yel et jasmil lu sniltitis. Isha tu malia mislu sumkomok. Hello, my name is Frances Vandenberg. In Salish, Frances is Pilesawa. And of course the Bitterroot Salish, which my ancestors, my great-great-grandparents and their great-great-grandparents this was their homeland. All through the Bitterroot Valley here, and right now we're right here is as the white people call it, Lolo Creek. And the reason for my talking, which I have been wanting to do, and it's like some people call it powers, but I call it Gulensutin, call this God's work, God's plan, that this man calls me on the phone. We have no clue who each other is. Talk about this proposed ski run that's going to tear up this whole mountainside, that's going to degrade it. When my ancestors respected a piece of land, and when they had a piece of land that gave them life, that didn't mean that gave them the right to go in there and tear it up or desecrate it. And so there are graves of the Salish people, the Pend d'Oreille people, even Nez Perce, other tribal relatives, all through this whole valley, on both sides of the valley. And who knows, when these people dug up the foundations to build their mansions, and I call them absentee mansions. They live in there 2 weeks out of the year, but yet they're ripping up this hillside. I don't want to see this ski run, because I don't know which place they're going to tear up somebody's medicine bundle, medicine place that they put in by rocks or next to a tree. But just because nobody's got their house up there yet doesn't give another human being the right to rip out generations and generations of attachment, of respect. And so I hope soon to talk to the people that are going to say yes or no to Mr. Maclay, that this, and besides, we don't get that much snow here anymore. No way. They can go back on records and see how much snow falls here. the way the earth is changing, and that's just a natural process. Humans are no humans. Places change. And the snow is not there that much anymore. What is he so rich that he can make snow? I hope not. But again, like I said, just because he's got the machines and the money and people from other places that their God is money, it'll catch up to them. Maybe not sooner, but it will catch them for desecrating part of this earth that gave life.
Oh, Tommy McClay, what do you see? Would you like to go skiing on Lolo Peak with your spandex tights, your alpine cap? Oh, Tommy McClay, wouldn't you like that with a two-ride? All the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, two-ride, all the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride. Now Tommy McClay lived on the hillside, feeding deer and elk he could not abide, so he built a ski lift for the rich to ride, and a brick-warming hut with a fire inside, and a two-ride, fall the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride, two-ride, fall the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride. Now condos claim the forest fair with golf balls flying through the air, while Tommy spews artificial snow and sewage seeps to the creek below, and a two-ride, fall the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride, two-ride, fall the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride. Oh, Tommy, were you drunk or blind when you left the life of Mother Earth behind, when you crushed the heart out of Lolo town to put on your head a golden crown? Or two-ride, fall the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride, two-ride, fall the diddle hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride. Now yonder comes a fellow doe with nowhere in the world to go. I'd rather Lolo Peak as it used to be than a rich man's resort for McClay to ski. Or two-ride, fall the diddle-o, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride, fall the diddle-hay, two-ride, hoo-ride, hoo-ride. Oh, Tommy, were you drunk or blind when you left the life of Mother Earth behind, when you crushed the heart from Lolo town to put on your head a golden crown? Oh, two-ride, Fall the little home to ride. Fall the little home to ride. Now, Tommy McLean, what do you seek? Would you like to go skiing on Lolo Peak with your spandex tights and your alpine cap? Oh, Tommy McLean, wouldn't you like that with a two-ride? Fall the little hay